I, like many other people right now, am working from home. And I don't know about all of you, but if I go 5 minutes without touching my work computer, Skype puts me into an inactive status. Now, inactive status wasn't so bad when we were back in the office, because people could just look at your desk and see that you weren't there right then. Whatever the reality is, I imagine that people think that I'm out at the movies, hanging out with friends, and doing other stuff that we can't actually do anymore. The majority of the time when I'm inactive, I've just turned from one computer to the other so that I can work with a piece of software that isn't available on my work computer. Now, my initial plan to solve this problem was I was just going to change my Skype settings so that it took a lot longer to time out. But of course, those are locked down by the company that I work for. The next idea was that I was going to write some software which would just jiggle my mouse every couple of minutes, so I never went into an inactive status. But I didn't want to run any third-party software on my work computer and risk angering our IT department. In the end, I ended up going with a full-on analog solution. I needed something that was going to take my mouse, sit right here, and spin around the bottom. I started off the whole project in Tinkercad. Now, I've designed a lot of stationary things in the past, but never anything that moves, and I was going to need a very specific kind of part for this.
We call a toothed wheel a gear.
The gear. I started off by designing a gear with a plate on top that was going to be spun by a vertical gear attached to a motor. Then I would just need to have an apparatus that would house these two parts and have a little platform for the mouse to sit on top of. I designed all the parts individually so I could print them out and then put them together afterwards. After a couple hours of design and about 5 hours of printing, I ended up with this. And then I'm going to put in a little clip of the mouse spinner. You'll notice it's run by an Arduino. Now, the Arduino doesn't actually push enough voltage to spin the gear that spins the plate. So I had to actually wire in a MOSFET with this little circuit right here. That MOSFET runs these 9-volt batteries, then in turn runs our spinning plate. I've got the whole thing on a 10-second timer. That can get kind of annoying hearing every 10 seconds. Now, I've actually wired this on a switch into my desk, so that anytime I need to switch computers or perform a different task that's going to take me away for 5 minutes, I just flick the switch and put the mouse on top. I also put a rubber band around it so that the mouse wouldn't go anywhere when it goes and spins like crazy. All told, the project took me about 6-7 hours. You might be thinking this is a really complicated solution for basically a non-issue. And you'd be just about right. See you next time.